It's Scooty. Hey man,
Yeah.
I said last week. Every time we come on here, it's real depressing. But man, hey, not this week.
Now,
Sometimes we got to get beat 30-0 for a response.
wake up. Hey, wake up. It's a victory Monday on this month. You know what I'm
Victory
saying?
Monday, man. Hey man, like I said, cover two podcasts. We locked in with the sports, man. Keep y'all updated with everything. Come on here and give y'all a little recap of the game. We're gonna talk about things we like, some things we don't like. Going into the bye week, we're gonna preview a little bit, looking ahead. Um, like I always say, remind y'all, like if you're not subscribed already, please tap in, subscribe, follow us on social media, like the video, comment. Man, y'all folks leave a comment down below, bro. I want to know what y'all think about the win yesterday. AG, I know you finna take it
Absolutely.
away, my boy. I know you finna take it away. Go ahead and take it away, man.
Hey man, so shouts out to the squad yesterday, man. Shouts out to the coaching staff. Shouts out to everybody that actually played a part in the team victory that we had yesterday. For the first time all season, we've seen the cylinders of every bit of this team. This well-oiled machine that can possibly carry us further than we really expect, if we do the right thing. Um, First aspect, special teams, Parker Romo. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for making your kicks, man. Thank you. So we we didn't really want to kick one of the field goals that we had to kick, but it was good to start the game off with, okay, he's gonna make his kicks today. We're good. Um, in an offensive standpoint, we seen night and day difference. We seen same formations, so nothing changed that aspect, but the diversity of the play call was a lot different this game. But I believe it started off with them being able to get in rhythm early. Starting fast is something that Zach Robinson needs this offense to do early because we don't want to play from behind, number one, or have to force to play into the opponent's hand, number two. Um, did a good job of countering that. We need to work on the short yardage situations, like change the formation that we're in when it's third and short, fourth and short, different things like that. Got to get the ball quicker across the line of scrimmage because the offensive line is getting pushed, but the development of the plays sometimes can hinder how good this offense can really be. Um, we did see all of our stars of this offense score yesterday. We've seen Drake London get him a touchdown first. We've seen Kyle Pitts get into the action. We've seen, of course, Bijan Robinson get into the action, and we've seen Tyler Algier get into the action as well. There's great offensive production, great diversity, and really the biggest thing is we can't care about stats when we have a team like this. We can't care about who's getting what numbers and who's getting what catches. It just has to work so that the open person gets the ball and we score touchdowns instead of field goals and we shut people out and we're able to win and compete with the best of them. Hats off to the offense. On defense, we've seen again that there was nothing but a lot of physical flying around the ball, getting to the quarterback, turnovers, key stops on third down, stops on fourth down. There's nothing that we could really pinpoint with the defense. They did give up a couple chunk plays you wish you had back or wish people knew where the gap flow was on the play. But we did give ourselves a good opportunity to get off the field each time. And we had our quarterback's back whenever his back was against the wall after a key turnover in the game. We held them to three instead of giving them seven. So that's big. Hats off to the defense.
For sure. And before we transition to like the individual side of the ball, yeah, definitely just looking at it as a general recap. It definitely was kind of like a complimentary game in a way. I say the special teams as far as like the kickoff return, we got to figure something out with that. That's like I don't even know. I really feel like the kickoff return in general in the league is kind of like they breaking a little bit more. So I don't know if that's just a byproduct of the new rule, but I still feel like um the starting field position are we not really helping our defense out because we giving our defense short fields. Like I haven't really seen nobody just drive on our defense a long field. I feel like when we when we keep teams back, like for their starting position, we do well. Like, we're going to force a punt or we're going to hold them to 3.
Right.
Especially Mariota yesterday. Like, he really can't prolong drives. It's really more so they run game yesterday. But like you said, it was complimentary because even when we got that turnover, I still feel like the defense held their own. They held them to 3 instead of giving up a touchdown on the short field.
Right.
Arthur Romo made all his kicks yesterday, made his extra points. Thank you. I really figure he probably just can't kick outside. He probably just the inside kicker at this point because Minnesota, they got that nice dome. He 5 for 5. Then he come to the Mercedes-Benz. He can make all his kicks. When he go to Carolina outside, he can't make a kick. So, we had a kicker that couldn't make them in the dome, so we ain't gonna complain too much right now. We got somebody that can make them inside in the AC. So, shout out to you, Parker Romo. You keep your job for another week. But like you said, just looking at the stats, I mean, third down efficiency, they was hyping Washington up. Washington defense was one of the best, if not the best, third down defense. We was 6 for 12 on third down yesterday, and vice versa. On the other side, third down, Washington was 1 of 8. So that's the money down right there. Total plays, we outsnapped them 64 to 51. Total yards, we outgained them 435 to 294. Outpassed them 307 passing yards yesterday for Mr. Penix, who we'll talk about. Mariota only had 147 passing yards, and most of those came on the last drive. So, garbage.
Yes.
Rushing yards, they had 147. We had 128. But like I said, Washington's rushing attack, I mean, it's a difficult rushing attack to deal with. I think a lot of people probably look at it and it was like, Mariota in the game, it's easy pickings, but he fits their offense. Like, they don't have to change nothing for him because it's like he's the same prototype of quarterback as Jack Daniels. I just think we all know why he's a backup at this rate of his career. But Deebo Samuel was having himself a day. We'll get to him a little bit later. Like you said, turnover battle 1-1, the interception. They had an interception, but we won the time of possession. So I don't really have nothing to complain about. I think Zach Robinson, like you said, shout out to the coaches. Zach Robinson definitely got his head on the way. You will not return to the booth now. There's no reason to go back to the booth. Obviously, on the field, communication improved, like we talked about in the preview video. That pistol, I mean, they committed to the pistol formation. Like I said, I don't care what formation we run as long as the offense is productive. Like I said, I was tracking every single formation we ran yesterday between under center, pistol, and shotgun. First half, we only had one under center play, which was a run on 4th down, which we did convert. Other than that, it was straight pistol and shotgun. But one thing I noticed yesterday, we was a little more willing to throw the ball out of pistol than instead of just running it all the time. Play action was a factor yesterday. It still wasn't as much as I would like to see, but I think every time we ran it, something good happened. Granted, Penix did throw his interception on the play action, but I don't think he will make that mistake again. It was just a what the hell type of play. But yeah, man, offense looked explosive, like you said. I don't think we had a game that really, like, if there was ever a game for Terry Fontenot to justify 4 straight first round picks on offense, it's this game. And then, like I said, we can just hop right into that. Offense response, like y'all see, man. Penix efficient, 20 of 26, 313 yards. I think that was his career high in yards right there. 2 tugs. Like I said, he had a late interception. Yeah, man, the running game was on fire. Drake London was on fire, man. It was good to see him get going, had a touchdown. Mr. Pitts has been solid all season, underratedly at this point. He's damn near our second best receiving option or best this year as it's been, and it's just good to see him get going. And then, man, what about that last drive? 14 play drive. I mean, converting third down after third down. Even with, like I said, Pitts got held on one of them plays. He still converted, fought through contact. That's what you want to see with him. He just looked explosive this year. Like, he looks like he's all the way healthy. Contract year, so of course, I think he has a quarterback that believes in him, and he's just healthy. But yeah, man, like y'all see with this graphic right here, Michael Penix with his game yesterday was the first game with at least a 75% completion percentage, 300 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns in the game since Matt Ryan. So, he's in good company with that stat.
Right.
Yeah, what you think about the offense? Just like diving a little deeper into it. Was this a good bounce back?
Um, I definitely think that the offense,
After a zero piece,
after a goose egg
a
on
donut.
the board, like on the last game, like you come out and you enforce your will on the defense and you don't let up. That's the type of offense that you have to have game in and game out. I do think that some players do need to make sure that they're on a recovery path after the game that helps it make sense so that they can exert the same amount, if not more, energy to the next game that we play when so that it'll the level of intensity stays the same. We don't have a dramatic drop off. Um, we know like going into the bye week, we kind of predicted. I kind of said 3-1, and you said 2-2 for sure, but
Yeah.
like I know for a fact, like this is a comfortable 2-2 where we can feel a little bit more satisfied because we felt the two bitter losses, and the two losses was like one was like, ah, dang, we almost had it, and one was just like, what the heck,
What?
what the hell, like basically just trying to figure out what was going on, and um, I do think it's overlooked that Michael Penix doesn't make the same mistake twice. Um, Even though we've seen him throw another interception, I do think that he definitely had a great answer your answer to who you are type of game. Like be who you are type of game. Like are you gonna be who you are in this moment? Are you gonna let the outside noise get in your head to the point where you go out there and you lose focus on who you are as a quarterback and how you got to this point and all the different things like that? Because it's easy for the young players that are on social media, are watching different things that people say, like it's easy for them to be like, oh, well, they think I need to do this. Well, let me start doing that so they can stop saying it. Or let me just start doing this so I can try to be different or try to do too much. You don't want to do too much and end up, throwing away a season or losing your spot. And that's an easy way for you to get on the bench. They already trying to call for your job. So he went out there and he answered the bell. Really, it really was no complaints out of me. On this side for the offensive side, Kyle Pitts has definitely woken up. He's been efficient whenever the ball is thrown to him. Is he's there? He's catching the ball. He's making sure that he's keeping ball security. And he's not. He's he's spatially aware now of where
Mhm.
he is on of the field and where he is when he's catching the ball. So if it's a run after catch, he's catching the ball and turning upfield, or if it's a catch where I need to get in and get out of bounds, he's there to do that. And I think the motion does help him get boosted into his route and create that mismatch because the people can't necessarily they can't cover Kyle Pitts when he's already in that motion of running his 4.4 speed in his routes.
Facts. Yeah. I'll say like one noticeable thing I think we still need to like get right with is short yard situations. I ain't like the 3rd and 1 call Bijan right up the middle. Like I don't really have a problem with running the ball on 3rd and 1 short yard situations. Like I mean that should be the mindset, but I would rather them make the other team cover the length of the whole field, the width of the field instead of just up the middle.
Mhm.
Like I don't really like that. And even if you do, like, I would prefer to do it with Algier, if anything. But yeah, I just feel like now that we like, I just feel like the deception of this offense or in the offense, like the game plan still could stand to be like a little bit more. Cause I feel like even the touchdown pass Pitt scored on the little tight end leak, that's gonna be there every time. Like
Mhm.
and that's why I advocate for under center a little bit more because I feel like the deception with play action is a little bit more strong. Like it's a little stronger when you under center versus pistol. But I mean, play action was they put it in the offense yesterday a little bit, so I can deal with sprinkling it in. Like I feel like they responded to a lot of stuff that was said. Like you said, Penix didn't play to those he didn't play to the naysayers. He just played his game. But Zach Robinson, I feel like he did implement a lot of stuff that people was criticizing him for.
Right.
I, I don't know, like the wide receiver group looked better. People was at their depth. Penix was looking decisive. Like like you said last week, if we look at his career, like the 7 games, is last week is the anomaly. So I didn't understand why so many people was ready to trash him already. Because like even 7 games in, if he was to have that game like that last week, I mean, he's
Bro,
a
it's
rookie, bro.
14, 15, 16 more games, bro.
You feel me? Like he just like, and then for y'all to be calling for his job to Kirk, bro, y'all was so ready to get Kirk up out of there last year, and y'all want like, bro, that's ridiculous. We're not even gonna talk about that. But like, I'm glad, like you said, for the reassurance of the fan base, the team, the coaching staff, and even Penix and himself, who he talked about it. Like he said, he's human, bro. He like stuff like last week is gonna happen, but it's about how you respond. And Raheem Morris spoke about how Penix got in front of the team from the get go, walked up to the defense during the game, like this on me. I got to be better. I'm gonna be better. Like taking accountability for it, owning up to it, and just watching the film. It is what it is. Like I know this is not me for real, so that's why he had the utmost confidence because he already know, like, bro, what we saw yesterday, that's what we was accustomed to last year. And when we were talking about training camp in the preview video, these was the passes we were seeing, down the field throws. That's all we were seeing in training camp. Explosives, explosives, explosives. We saw the explosives yesterday. He's making throws like this. This is what he was doing in college. And like you see with this graphic right here, NFL leader in scrimmage yards, Bijan Robinson. Like we have superstars on offense. Yesterday, that can be an every week thing, bro. Easily. Like that 34 yesterday was easy, if we being honest. We really didn't struggle to put up that 34 yesterday at all.
At all, bro.
That's easy, bro. And it's like it ain't gonna be everybody every game. Like, of course, we know that. Some games it might be Darnell, like maybe Ray Ray, or maybe Algier out game. Like it don't matter. We got enough to where it can be 2 or 3 at a time. It's just gonna take consistency from Zach Robinson. It's gonna take consistency from Penix, and I think they both can do that. I would like to think they could do that going into this bye week. But while I got the graphic up, AG, I don't know if you was catching the broadcast yesterday, but they
Yeah.
hit us with this, bro, and
Yeah.
I ain't completely
I ain't
sure
even
how
respect
it
it, bro.
works.
I called it, but I ain't respect it because I'm like, baby bird, bro.
Is this
These boys out
Like
here.
how do you pronounce a baby falcon? I don't know, but this is what it's called. That's what the graphic they wanted to run with yesterday, and of course these are 4 rookies. Um, but as you can see though, man, Xavier Watts had another pick yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Pierce. So as you know, this defense as a whole, this class, man. What you feeling about this defense in this game yesterday, and just as we look at our team or 2-2 so far?
I, man, with me being a defensive guy, like seeing all four defensive players actually be a part of the game in every single game and actually do something that makes a difference in the game, like at whatever point of the game it is, I think that just shows like proof of the faith that Terry and the guys had when they first drafted those guys. Like we got 4 steals out of a draft, and people wonder why we traded for Pierce. People wonder why we traded for Jalen. People wonder why we traded up for Watts. How we got Watts when we traded up. How we got Billy when we traded up. Like we really invested into this defense, and it's making a difference because these guys, we're instead of like drafting a name or a guy from Wichita State or something like that, the Falcons actually went out and got guys that were ranked for their stats, for their production on the field, like, and they're bringing that same production on the field to a team that needed it because we weren't getting it. We weren't getting the pass rush, and we weren't having ball hawks. We only had one, and that was AJ. Then we got two with Jesse. Justin Simmons was terrible last year. The
And
31 that we had last year is a different 31 this year. And 31 is definitely better this year than it was last year because it's like, okay, by this game last year, you only had one pick. He got two. His tackles, he's actually trying to tackle people. He's not sitting there waiting on people to come up there for him to tackle him. And then Billy Bowman, for him to be able to come in and then just take the nickel spot. I mean, hey, you gotta be him to be able to do that. Like they might draft you, but then you might have to sit behind somebody and learn your position, or just wait until they mess up and then you get your chance. But I don't know. It's it's good production for me. I wouldn't call it whatever they call it, but it's
Hey man, I'm messing with the ISs. Like you said though, but yeah, we not rocking with that nickname. But one thing you like, two words you said is investment, bro. Like Terry Fontenot actually made an investment, and like you said again, like you said a bar when you said we ain't go out and get no Wichita State. No, we went out to the big schools, got guys with actual production to come in and do things that we need, we lack. You got two pass rushers who rush the passer well, and at the University of Tennessee, University of Georgia, and lo and behold, they coming in having an instant impact. Oh, you lacking creating turnovers. Okay, we go out and get two guys that led the country in turnovers while they were in college.
Ball hops.
Oh, they come in and they got three total turnovers already, bro. Like it just makes sense. And I was thinking to myself, when we was talking about, getting on today, this is really like the most balanced investment wise team I can really think of, like especially under the Terry Fontenot
Yep.
era, was it's like I said, 4 first-round picks on the offense, and now you got 4 guys on the defense. But mind you, we also drafted, Root, Brandon Dorless. We drafted them guys last year as well. So
And
it's
they
like,
doing tremendous.
right. So we got plenty talent on the defense, and don't forget we got Hellums on the defense still. Like we got some guys.
Zach Harrison still producing.
Harrison leading the team in sacks, I believe, with 2.5.
Hey man.
Yeah, we got Terry Fontenot always been good with the free agent classes. Like
Mhm.
Hayden Ellis still looking good out there. Onyemata holding down the middle. He's the veteran in the middle right now. So I like what you said about the investment, man. And it's like you finally did what makes sense, bro. You struggle in these areas, go get high end talent in those areas and put them in position to fix what you need to be fixed. Yesterday on the defense, it wasn't like a tremendous day, but I feel like they did what needed to be done. Like I don't
The
expect
pressures mattered more than sacks yesterday, if you're being honest.
right, and I don't really expect our defense to carry us how they did in the Minnesota game every week. Like every week is not going to be like that. I
Right.
think the offense putting up 34 is the formula, and I think the defense can hold on and do what they need to do. I think the game plan, like they spoke about the game plan, like they knew they were gonna come in and run the ball. They just knew they couldn't fall for the hard play action. They couldn't really allow nothing explosive for real. Um, right now we just getting by. We don't have our best cover corner, so we just kind of getting by on the back
Right.
end. Um, hopefully he'll be back post bye week. And speaking of the bye week, oh, before we get off that topic though, I'm gonna throw one more stat out there about the defense. According to Mike Conti of 92.9 The Game, uh, this was as of yesterday by all the games completed before the Sunday night game came on. Falcons are 7th in total offense in the league and 3rd in total defense. Like I told y'all, Bijan leading the league in scrimmage yards right now. Offense, we're 7th total, 5th rushing, 8th passing. It's just a scoring. We're 25th right now. So that's really the only thing holding us back. Defense, 3rd total, 14th in rushing, 2nd in passing, 14th in scoring. We're tied for 11th in sacks and tied for 5th in takeaways. So total offense, total defense, so far top 10, it's other advanced stats that people might want to lick on. But those are the ones I just threw out there. But hey man, 2-2 going to the bye week, AG. Man,
Hey.
what's your thoughts? What's the strengths, weaknesses of this team? Any concerns? Anything you pounding, hanging your hat on? What do we know about this team so far?
I can tell that this is a Michael Penix led team and not a Kirk Cousins led team, offensively. Um, but I do think that people had a misconception like coming out of the gate with Michael Penix expectations. So now with them seeing like, okay, we kind of see why they got him now. Okay, he's had more good games as a quarterback than bad, and we just have to play around him as a team. That's the motive now. Like the guys see like, oh, he's not out there just making bonehead decisions. He's gonna throw it where I'm supposed to be at as a receiver. They're getting, you seen the night and day difference between when we're on point and when we're not on point. The misconception was that we was gonna be off the whole season. We would struggle against teams that we won against, and like we would win against teams that we lost against.
How that happen?
So it's like, I mean, I guess we're a beat the odds type of team this year. So if anybody put in any type of bets, you know what I'm saying, just go against the odds whenever. I ain't saying put your money on us. I'm just saying go against the odds sometimes when you bet. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, um, I do think we have good run game. Of course, you just named the stats top 10. We did predict top 10 stats this year as a whole to be the expectation. As long as we stay consistent, I see us going a little bit higher. We really have nowhere to go but up. We could, like, I don't see any production going down from any of the players that's really on the team, provided the depth that we have and the rotations that we have at each position. Um, a couple of the things that I did see going into this bye week was a 0-2 start in the division. As you pull up the stat, it's kind of bad, and it's a bad look, and it's bad pressure on us because one of those was at home, and one of those was to a team that you really should have beat. And uh, I do think that you have to take that with a grain of salt, and I do think that they did take it with a grain of salt and take it out on the next opponent. But now that has to be the fuel to carry you through the next couple of games. I don't know if you can pull up a stat of our next schedule, but like leading up to coming out of the bye week, we have a small stretch where it's like we're going to be featured in a lot of games where these guys are going to have to perform either in prime time or against prime time worthy opponents. And we seem to come up, you know, and be able to solely compete with everybody. But I don't want people to be blind to what we have coming up next. So you see, we got Buffalo, San Fran, Miami, and New England. Off of those next four games, okay. So Buffalo coming in, Josh Allen, they're undefeated. They'll probably come in Atlanta undefeated, and that'll be a team that will have to come out of the bye week, hoping that we're healthy, hoping that the offense remembers the same thing that we have to do. Let's do our game plan. The Bills have almost the worst rush defense.
I'm about to say they struggling against the run.
So
Everybody,
if we don't put up a 200 buck, hey, come on, man. Free beers on me at the bar right after. You see what I'm saying? Like, to the offensive line, we need 200. Like, the goal should be to run the ball and then get everything going like that. Okay, we got San Fran. We got to make sure that we keep our people, healthy. That's a team that's really trying to get healthy. If we come in healthy off the bye week, coming in 2-2, we really only lost AJ, and we'll start getting players back like Storm Norton and other players like that. I don't know if you take back the continuity, if you take away the continuity and put Storm Norton right in, or do you just let Wilkerson rock it out until then?
it's me. I'm leaving Wilkerson in, bro. Like he
Right.
ain't looking bad right now.
But he had a game with no penalty, bro. I was so happy, bro.
Feel me? Like I
A
don't.
game with no penalty, bro. That's a big improvement going into this 2-2 bye week. Because every game before that, he had at least one penalty, bro. At
Yeah.
least one. Um, and then Miami, I mean, you really got to be healthy because I mean, you only got the Cheetah and Waddle to really worry about. But as long as you stay healthy, though, like the stretch of these games are you only got one team, if not two, that were anywhere near a playoff game last year in the next four games coming out of your bye week. So that's another stretch where you could potentially go 3-1 or at least 2-2 to keep yourself above water in the NFC. But three out of those four games are in the AFC. So those could be really potential games that you have to win because those are teams that play teams in our division. And if we have tiebreaker advantages, these are the next games that are really key. So health health is one thing I'm looking for coming out of the bye week. I'm looking for consistency with the run game, and I'm looking for consistency on the defensive side with pressure and just making sure that we're in the right spot at the right time and make the plays like they're supposed to.
Yeah. Just peeking down at my notes from the game yesterday. what the hell was Raheem doing before the half with the timeout usage? That's one thing I have to say. After the bye week, bro, like Raheem, I've been slick rocking with you this season. Like you made the move, you got two out the way. You know, you stood tall with Penix. You said, no, we're not doing no quarterback battle. Like you've been making necessary adjustments. But like, bro, do you play Madden? Like, and I don't understand. We have a time management coach that's assigned for these specific roles, but it's like he's not doing his job. So why y'all want to fire the wide receiver coach? Fire this dude as well, bro.
Yep.
Because there's no way it's a minute on the clock, third down, we get a stop. And now we just calling timeout, but we didn't call timeout on second down. When we clearly said they're trying to run the ball to get out the half. So now you got two timeouts and you get the offense the ball back with 20 seconds left, bro. And then now you want to go fast to call time. It's nothing to do now. We can't do that.
Playing into their hand, like
Just go into the half, bro. Like I just want to see clear-cut strategies. Like, bro, before the half, we need to be aggressive. Like, pet peeve of mine is going into halftime with any timeouts. I don't, bro. Just use them. I don't care if somebody got to go potty, bro. Just use the timeouts, bro. There's no reason to go into the half with your timeouts. Just use them.
Right.
And you go into the half with two, and you could have stole a three at the end of the half. Like, it's no guarantee we would have got it, but you at least put yourself in position to get it. Like, the margin of victory in the NFL is small, bro. You don't never know if them three could have came back to bite. You never know the Commanders could have got it down that onside kick at the end.
Yep.
They scored and went for two, and you lose the game. But it's like if you had that three at the end of the half, that would have been the difference. I just feel like he's still kind of lacking. Like, he's not proactive in certain situations. Like, he's not giving us a competitive advantage. Like I said, the margin of victory is small, so you need a coach who's going to give you those small little advantages here and there, and he's just not doing that for me. But I would like – and then it's like it's ironic because it's against Washington, like the same team you did the same crap against last year. So it's like, are you really learning from your mistakes? But I would like to see that being better. But like you said, sitting second in the division right now, it does hurt that you lost two division games. Like you said, one of them was a nail biter, but it happened to be at home. So you already have lost the home field advantage in the matchup with Tampa Bay, who was probably your greatest adversary in this division. And then, you lost a team in Carolina. Like we said before the season started, Carolina and the Saints should have been – that should have been 4 wins right there. But, of course, you know how I go. Division game, you never really can count what will happen. So, you dropped that game. But everything that we want is still in front of us. Like we said, 2-2 was the absolute worst we could have been going into this. 3-1 was honestly 4-0 was very obtainable the way it all played out. 3-1 would have been, like that was easy, but 2-2 is the absolute bottom line. You could have been, you could have been 1-3, you could have been 0-4. So I'll take 2-2. Like you said, coming out, you got that monster. You got arguably the best team in the league, the reigning MVP, who's still playing at the MVP level. But like you said, not to get into much to a preview, but they are struggling against the run. Off the top of my head, I remember Derrick Henry carving them up, even though they know they came back and won that game. And even when they played Miami, A-Chain was, doing them dirty too. So, it ain't going to be a game we favored in. Everybody going to ride with Buffalo, but it's a game, for me, similar to that Kansas City game last year. I just want to see how we match up with one of the elites in the league. I'm not judging the season on if we win or lose the game because I don't expect to win the game. But I feel like now that we have Penix, I got appropriate respect for everybody in the league, but like you said, I'm not going into the game saying we got to do X, Y, and Z. No, they got to stop X, Y, and Z that we doing as well. Like, we not just playing Buffalo. Buffalo got to play us. So, and then San Fran, like you said, they're a team trying to get healthy. They don't really scare me, though, to be honest. Like I said, appropriate respect, but I don't fear them at all. But then, like you said, Miami and New England are mixed games. Definitely not pushover teams at all, but winnable games. And then, just looking at the rest of the stretch, Colts looking a little bit better than we thought when we first got the schedule. So that'll be a little bit of a game. But Carolina, Saints, Jets, and not to even go down too far the schedule, but, you really don't have a game until the Seahawks. And then you start getting a little bit spicier with Tampa Bay again, the Rams. But like I said, bro, everything we want is still ahead of us. Um, Offensively, going into the bye week, I think, like we talked about, I'm so glad you had this performance. So now I know you're capable of it. So now I know when we sitting here harping on Zach Robinson that we not just talking for no reason. Now we know that what they know this offense should and can look like. So
Yep.
that's the expectation going forward. Like I said, you ain't gonna score 34 points every week, bro. We understand that, but bro, why not? Why,
Yeah.
why, why should we not be
Yep.
ahead, like first in the league in points per game? Moving the ball in yardage hasn't been a problem. It's finishing drives in the red zone, and that was what was so impressive to me yesterday. The red zone. I want to see that continue. Like I said, more play action usage, diversifying the run game. Everything don't got to be outside zone. Tyler Algier don't have to just run inside. I like that counter play we did on Algier's touchdown. That was a nice little wrinkle. Yeah, that's what I want to see offensively. Defensively, like you said, you alluded to, I want to see the front four get some more pressure. I think our pass rush is improved, but it's not that Minnesota pass rush we saw. I don't think we are a 7 sack a game type of pass rush right now. We getting pressure. We definitely getting pressure, but I like to see just a little bit more finishing, a little bit more containment with these rushing quarterbacks. At this point, everybody quarterback can move out of pocket. So
Right.
you gotta maintain your rush lines. You gotta be disciplined. It'll be like you said, getting healthy, bro. It'll be so good for us to get our cover cornerback, so we don't have to top D Alfred out there and have him getting carved up by Debo Samuel. Like it'll be he did his thing in the Carolina game, but he's just not an outside corner down out, bro. We need AJ back. And honestly, during the offseason, I think cornerback need to be a place we look at improving this team. I think wide receiver needs to be a place as well. But that's for offseason. We locked in on postseason right now. We're not talking about offseason.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Special teams, our Parker Romo just keep making the kicks twin, and we ain't got no problem. Do the little thing. We really shouldn't be talking about the kicker at all, but we just have you only talk about the kicker when you got issues.
No, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, now, that's how I feel about going into the bye week. I feel confident in the team. We said, would you rather want to win or would you want the offense to look improved? Like which one way more? We got both.
Yep.
I feel like going into the bye week, that restore confidence in the team. That's the last protection we got of the team. Man, that's a response, bro. You get beat 30-0. Everybody talking about you. Everybody diving into your offensive film. Asking is your quarterback the one. It's only one way to respond.
Yep. You got to
And
do it. Can't just
that's
talk about it. Got to be about it on that field, man.
and that's the way they came out. So going into this bye week now, bro, we just looking at everybody else, hoping that we can get some help. I know Tampa Bay got I believe they got Seattle.
That's a potential.
Tampa Bay got Seattle on the road week 5. Let me see. You got Rams, 49ers next week, so that's Thursday night football. So we can stand one of them to lose.
Yes, sir.
Saints, Giants, we ain't worried about them. Bottle feeders.
Right.
Panthers got the Dolphins next week, so I don't know. Maybe the Dolphins get their first win tonight before I talk about them. But yeah, but Seahawks. Hopefully the Seahawks can give us some help. That's 3-2. Commanders got the Chargers. And then y'all see who want to buy week next week. So yeah, man. Any last thoughts about this team, going into the bye week?
Man, hey, stay healthy, do something nice with your family, and come back ready to work, man. That's all. That's all I gotta say. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I agree, bro. Health is the biggest concern right now. Rethinking some things. Look at what's working. Look at what's not working. Like you said, stay healthy. Get back ready to work. We know the expectation now. Defense, keep doing what y'all doing. Offense, this is what y'all did this last game. They
Yes,
get it.
sir.
Got
Lock
them.
in, twin.
So yeah, man, I might drop a few videos here and there on the bye week. This will probably be our video for this next 2 week span. And then we'll come back with the Bills preview. Monday night football game. We got prime time at the crib. We will have the red helmets on.
Yes, sir. Throwback, motherfucker. Hey.
Throwback. So, man, like I say, always like, comment, subscribe. Falcons fans, NFL fans, any sport, but y'all type in some comment, follow on social media, bro. We definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in, interacting with the videos. And hey, man, rise up.
Rise up, hey.
Rise to fucking